Hey yoga friends, it's Heather Fraunberger of Geneve Yoga. And in today's class video, I am going to be showing you a modification of Sarvangasana, which is also known as shoulder stand. Now the full expression of this pose always needs to be super, super precise. So if you do practice the full expression of the pose, I encourage you to make sure you are properly aligned. And if you are not sure about that, wait until you can work with a live teacher so you don't do something in your neck. There's a lot of delicate components of the neck that we really don't want to mess around with. So this is a great variation that will give you some space and also make you strong. So let me show you what you need and we can get started. So what you will need is a blanket, a strap, and a block. So I'll start with the blanket. If you see here, I have a yoga blanket that has some body to it. It has some body and support. If you have a throw blanket that has a little bit of body to it, you can use that as well. I have this classic fold of my blanket, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it again. Right? So it's like 3/4 of the way folded, or maybe 1/4, but it's 3/4 of the way folded. Now I will turn the blanket so the fold is facing the top of my mat. Now I take my strap, and what I want in my strap is a loop. Okay, so I made a loop, and then I want that loop to be shoulder width. Shoulder width meaning the front of one shoulder and the front of my other shoulder. So I measure it just like that. That's shoulder width. That's the exact measurement that I want for my strap. So if you need to turn off your video and set up your props to do that, go right ahead. And then I have my block close by. Now to set up in the pose, I lay down onto the blanket, and I want to make sure that the top of my shoulder is even with the fold of the blanket. The back of my head is on the floor, and my neck is nice and soft. There is no pressure. There is nothing leaning onto my neck. That's what I really want to make sure of. Then I press my elbows into the mat and I just scooch my shoulder blades towards my spine. We'll do that a little more as we set up. I make sure my block is close to me. I am looking straight up because I don't want to turn my head at all. Okay? Now I take my strap and I just have it around my wrist, even a little bit onto my hand, and you'll see why in a moment. Right. I'm actually going to move my block to the other side. Okay, now I press into my elbows. I lift my hips. I am going to use the high side of the block. You can choose what side is comfortable for you. As I lift my hips, I take the block and I put it onto my sacrum, which is right in the center of my tailbone, and it supports my pelvis. Then I let my pelvis lean down on the block, and I make sure I feel nice and even here. Now, here's my strap. I find the strap with my other hand, and I just want it around my wrists. Now, here's where the magic happens. Yeah. I roll my palms up towards the ceiling. So notice my arms roll as well. Then I lift my chest. I roll my shoulder blades towards my spine. So my chest and my heart are supported and pressing up towards the ceiling. Palms up towards the ceiling. Then I rest back down on my shoulder blades. Right? My elbows are facing up, and I am acting as if I'm trying to pull the strap apart. I want that tension on the strap so I can get engagement in my arms and in my shoulders. My heart lifts. I get that little bit of a back bend in my thoracic spine, that section between my shoulder blades, and I am golden here. Now, You can stay here. It depends on your low back. If you'd like to go a little further into the pose, extend one leg out, extend your other leg out. If this gives you pressure in your low back, go back to having bent knees. And I get to enjoy a back bend here. Notice my neck. If you were in class with me right now and you touch the back of my neck, you will feel that my neck is nice and soft. That's what I want. And I get to enjoy this extended, supported modification of shoulder stand. Now I'm going to go a little bit further into the pose. You can stay here or come right along with me. I bend one knee, I extend my leg up, I bend my other knee, and I extend my leg up. So now I get to enjoy the full feeling of an inversion. Forgot the word inversion for a moment. My shoulders are supported, my neck is nice and soft, and my legs and my feet are above my heart. I could stay here all day. If your block feels like it's pushing forward or your block keeps tipping over while you're here, see if you need to move the block a little more towards the edge of or the end of your mat. If not, you might have a block that's a little bit soft. So perhaps you would need to lower your block, another level to give you that support. So I continue to lift my chest. I continue to press my shoulder blades in. My neck is super soft. There is no pressure on my neck. All right, now you may stay here. You may stay here for a few more breaths. I am going to come out. So I bend one leg, bring one leg down, and I bring the other leg down. I start by taking my strap off of my wrist so I don't get tangled. I lift my hips, put my block aside, and bring my hips back down. Now, I scooch my shoulder blades off the blanket and I move my hips and my pelvis to the blanket so it's a little bit elevated. You can have the soles of your feet together. I like to cross my legs, so whatever you choose here. And just let your low back, your pelvis, your sacrum, tailbone, just enjoy this few moments, few breaths of being a little bit higher than, or a little bit higher than your shoulder blades. They were like that before, but now they're just coming down a little bit, little by little. And now, again, you have the choice. You can stay here for a few more breaths if you have the time. Those of you who don't, bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Roll on your side and come up. Take a moment, take a breath. That, my friends, is a variation of shoulder stand. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my website at www.geneveyoga.com. Namaste.